sure to do a double talk about. Is that one better? What's that?
No idea, man. Put my name on mine. Billy's.
Billy's okay.
All right, I'd like to call to order tonight. I'm going to tell you, in the 8 years I've been sitting behind here, this is more people we had in 8 years for our meetings. I mean, we're having a culmination of the people in more than 8 years. Anyway, happy to have y'all. I'm going to call to order the Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for October 16th, 2023. Could I get a roll call, Mr. Fetty?
Sure can. We got Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
City Attorney Del Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Announcements. I'd like to make one for this meeting. You'll see council and all the city employees. We have decided to, on Mondays is going to be our, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. On Mondays, we will be, we all purchased pink shirts for our employees. And it's sort of going to be our memorial to those folks that are, that have survived breast cancer or become a victim of breast cancer or currently maybe going through their treatments. We all probably could raise our hand in here and know somebody that's probably been a part of that. And my mom had breast cancer before she succumbed to another type of cancer and passed away. But a lot of people, and we got people here in the city that work for us that are currently going through it. So our thoughts and prayers are with all of them, and just didn't want you guys to think we were trying to do a fashion statement. We're far from that. Elle's got it over the top of it. Yeah, he's going to show up in court tomorrow like that, right? So, anyway, I have no other announcements for this meeting, fellas, unless you do.
I have none.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
I'll second it, Mayor.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. New business, Mr. Pat Myers, we got fire truck RFP acceptance.
Good evening. I suppose you guys all got to look through the information that was distributed in your packets. Just a little bit of update on kind of how we went through the process. We put the truck out for bid. Right now it's just a difficult time to purchase fire equipment. Like a lot of other things, you've material shortages, backlogs, price increases. I tried to protect the city's interest as best as I could when I wrote the proposal to protect us as far as price increases, some different things. So I put that language into that proposal. So had the people who submitted it include that in there as well or not include it in there as well. The Cummins motor manufacturer just in the last year invoked a 13.5% price increase in the summertime on 2 days notice to their vendors. So we kind of kept that kind of things in mind. So there's two bidders, Spartan and Marion, that bid. They were the lowest and second highest bidder. We decided to go ahead and dismiss those because there was language in there that said that if a motor change came up, we would be responsible for the price increase, no exceptions. I didn't find that was acceptable to protect the city's interest, so we discluded those two vendors from our proposal packages. So the manufacturer that I've decided and we have decided as a staff have decided to recommend is the Pierce for $869,750. You'll notice that they do have a prepayment discount if you're so obligated to do so. I have followed up. I've vetted the Pierce product out. Indianapolis Fire Department, they are going to propose a PACCAR motor, different motor than the Cummins. Alleviates a little bit of that worry. Indianapolis Fire, I spoke to their procurement chief today. We spoke at end about that. Indy Fire is going to those as well. I feel like that is a very good resource for us from a department that's that big and makes that many calls. For them to be able to give a validation of that, I felt good about that. So they're going to those. They are in Pierce. They are in the Sabre chassis that we're in. And I felt like moving forward, that was going to be the best one for the money that we have to spend. And there is a clause in their proposal that says if there is any price increases during the process of building the truck, that the city does have the right to cancel the contract. So I felt like that protected our interest moving forward because you just don't know what things are going to happen in the future. So I felt like that at that point in time, the city was protected with the investment that we have, that we could back out of the contract if something happened rather than be on the hook for something with no exceptions.
Okay.
So if anybody has any questions, that is my recommendation for this evening's meeting.
The prepayment option, looks like we save $57,000 or so.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That drops it to 811.
Yes. And then I also did talk to them because I know that's kind of been a point of contingency with the State Board of Accounts on prepayments. But I did talk, when I talked to Indianapolis today, Indianapolis and Evansville City both prepay their Pierces as well when they buy those, so they can get a substantial discount. And actually, of all the proposals that were submitted, this was the only one that offered us a prepayment discount.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's something that I think I talked to Dale about as far as creating that ordinance to be able to prepay. And I think you
yeah,
were aware of that too.
okay, good. All right, questions, guys?
Question would be, when do you want to move on this? And I noticed in the letter that you sent, it says it's for the 2025 budget.
Right, so because of the build times on the trucks, everything right now that we were looking of the two bidders that I felt the most confident about with the Pierce and the Suffens, we were 25 to 28 months on the Pierce, 36 months on the Suffens. So that's kind of an industry norm now, as it used to be about 300 days. Now it's about 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years. So I felt like that was adequate on that one. So I would like to try to move on it because when they bid the truck, they bid it with the proposal of they have us a spot in the manufacturing line. So if we can move on this before the end of this month, which I would like to move on it sooner than that, we can get our spot in line. But because of the deadline, the build times, we pushed it back to 2025. But we went ahead and started the process now knowing that that's going to be the time limit. We just can't go ask for a truck and have it built in the same year like we used to be able to.
So would they want that money up front?
If the prepayment is selected, we would pay that up front. If we choose to not prepay, then it's at delivery of the truck.
Question, is there any way to go back since, okay, we don't have the ordinance developed yet.
Right.
Allow us to do the prepayment.
Sure.
And saving $57,000, pretty good, substantial savings. Would it be possible to go back to them, I mean, once they approve your recommendation or not approve it, but once, I'm assuming it gets approved, would it be okay if you went back to the manufacturer and said, hey, we really want to do the prepayment, but we've got to get our ordinance approved and, written and approved, but we want to hold them to the 811,000 instead of the 869. Is that an option?
Absolutely. So when I spoke to the Pierce rep this afternoon, because I had a couple of questions I needed clarified with him, he said we can prepay that anytime at any point to the build of the truck. Oh. So what I could go back to him and say the biggest thing is right now is if we can get the contract signed in the next couple of days to where we can get our spot in line, that is ultimately at the end of the day the greatest point for us to be in. But yeah, I can talk to him actually tonight and say, hey, can we get the contract? And then, once we get our ordinance passed, which I don't know the timeline on that ordinance, Dale. So just something I could throw to him, say is, maybe in the next month or, 30, 60 days that we have this ordinance passed, or how long it's going to be, and see if we can, and even if it's not maybe to that extent of the 57, if they're still not, maybe we can still get the bulk of that discount.
Well, but if he told you that we get the prepayment price up till the build of the truck isn't gonna happen for.
Right, and that's the biggest thing, is just getting us in spot and getting us in line, for sure. So, yeah, but that's all stuff I can have discussions with him this evening if we get a favorable recommendation to move on.
The only other question I would have, do you have this in your non-reverting firefighting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. It's a pleasure of the board.
Mayor, I'd like to entertain the motion that we go with their recommendation and also put in that if we could do the prepay, that we do the prepay,
Okay.
and that would be for the piers, correct?
Yes.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so just to add some meat to the motion, I guess, the motion would be to approve the Pierce quote of $869,750 with the prepayment option of $811,961. That's a motion on the floor in a second, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
it is Correct, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Mayor, we
All right.
need to add that contingency that the ordinance passes as well into that.
Well, that's solely on us because the manufacturer doesn't care.
Yep, I'll talk to him tonight or tomorrow morning, one or the other, and we'll get it ironed out to the point. If there's if I run into anything, we'll get back.
Can you send us an email on that,
Yep, I can.
how your conversation is?
Sure will.
Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, we're going to want the prepayment.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have one question.
Yes, sir.
Now, the signing of the contract, is that you, or would I have permission to go ahead and sign?
Mayor, sign it.
Mayor, okay, just clarifying.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Pat.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay. Next on the item, Mr. Todd Dowdy Road Storm Project Change Order.
Mr. Todd's not here.
Where's he at?
Not sure.
Then I'd like to take,
I just met with him, and we are gonna table it, so that's probably why he's not here. I talked to him, and I'll
Okay.
talk to you
Can I-
guys.
Yeah, I had a few concerns, so.
Yeah.
can I get a motion to table?
So moved.
I'll second, Mayor.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you for that, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, so we're gonna,
Motion carries.
we're gonna have the engineer come in and talk to us about why we should even consider it. And it's not like something we would wanna look at, but I wanted the engineer to be here to answer your guys' questions rather than, because it is a big decision, so.
And I would like to actually see the job
Yep.
bid itself.
And we've got, yeah, that's what I asked about, comparing the bid to the extra work. He's got photographs and he can explain
deal.
like why the wall is important. We talked to Garrett and the water department about what it would look like if the water line isn't protected, so they'll explain all that, and it's
But
better to
there's a
have
new
everyone
wall
here.
there as well.
It's what are those called? Those
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know what it's called.
I'm not
Pylons?
an engineer.
What is it?
The pylons?
No,
The
they're
wall itself,
yeah,
they put there, to
something,
put the switch
Some-
gear and
some
generator.
engineering term I'll never know.
Yeah.
But it's like a retaining wall, only it's vertical, a bunch of vertical panels instead of one retaining wall, whatever that's called.
not quite sure. It looks all poured
Yep.
as one to me, but they
So
can
th-
explain that.
So that you'll hear from the engineer, and that way
Okay.
you can make a better decision, so we'll
Okay.
table it.
All right, next item, Jenny Felix, where's she at? Diesel mechanic recommendation.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm here on behalf of the hiring committee for the diesel mechanic position to make a recommendation for the diesel mechanic position. We started off with 8 applicants. We did interview 4, and we did finally settle on one to make a recommendation for. It was a tough job for us. So I'd like to recommend to the board Sam Biddle for the position of diesel mechanic.
All right. Questions?
I have none.
None.
Sam Biddle?
Yes, Biddle.
All right, then I'd entertain a motion to extend an offer to Mr. Sam Biddle for the diesel mechanic recommendation from the hiring committee.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it, so I don't seem biased. I was on the committee.
Yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. There's definitely some good candidates in there.
That's good. I have no other new business for this particular meeting and no old business. Anybody got anything?
Have none.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next meeting I'd like to call to order is the Parks and Recreation Committee meeting for October 16th, 2023. Roll call, Mr. Petty.
All right, we got member Tony Abbott,
Here.
member Justin Noppert,
Sir?
we got member Tommy Roulette,
Present.
member Lenny Fryman,
Here.
member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon,
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
Myself.
Okay, any announcements for the Parks Committee meeting? I have none for this.
I've got no announcements, but I do have a request for George Street Park.
Yeah.
You know, we set that bench under that tree, and it was the wrong tree, so we had it moved over to the other spot where they wanted it. Well, now a lot of the residents want one over where that first one was put. So can we put a second bench over there?
Absolutely.
All right, good. Over there by the big tree over in the corner.
George Street. Park bench. All right. Over by the big tree.
Yep, they'll know where. There's been one there before.
Sounds like a nursery rhyme.
Yep.
Okay, not a problem. Any other announcements for this meeting? If not, entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I've got one item in new business, and that is the Phi Beta Psi Light Up the Levy for June 8th, 2024. They wanted to reserve the date. Everybody okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Can I get a motion?
I'll
So
move, Your
moved.
Honor.
Justin? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I have no other new business nor old business for parks. Not to entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg Council meeting for October 16th, 2023. If everyone could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Once again, Mr. Fetty.
All right, we got Councilperson Tony Abbott,
Here.
Councilperson Justin Noppert.
Sir?
Councilperson Tommy Roulette,
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
Mayor Kelly Malone.
Here.
And so,
Okay, announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs, downtown area, Mr. Abbott.
We're all good.
Streets, alleys, and curbs on the Ludlow Hill area, Mr. Fryman.
Real good, thank you.
Finance Department, Mr. Bondurant.
No report, Mayor.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Noppert.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Fire Department, Mr. Roulette.
No report, Mayor.
Okay, I've got a couple of announcements, just a congratulations to the Lady Tiger volleyball team. Going to regionals, I believe, this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I believe soccer, did they get beat last Saturday night in the finals of the sectional?
Regionals.
Finals of the regional. And I think we got football sectionals starting Friday.
Friday night.
So lots of going on in Lawrenceburg. The other thing is, just a reminder, trick or treat hours 6 to 8 on October 31st. Don't forget about Halloween Sensation down at the firehouse on October the 20,
Friday or Saturday night?
no, it's a Thursday.
Thursday. 26th?
26th, that's good. And October 29th, the City of Lawrenceburg employees are hosting a trunk or treat up at Ludlow Hill. That's a Sunday afternoon from 1 to 3, and everybody will be able to get home to watch the Bengals game at 4 o'clock. So,
They're on by.
yeah. Well,
I don't know, I see some frowns out there. I don't know
Okay.
about this.
October 29th. Okay, if no other announcements, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move, Your Honor.
Lenny?
Right again.
Lenny?
Second.
Second, Justin?
got him, that's
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Also need a motion to approve the meeting from September 28th, work session.
So move, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business. We can do that before 6:30. Now it's in the regular meeting, right?
Probably need to wait 6:30. We can go ahead and the rest.
Well, let's go to Mr. Weldon, county property transfer.
Thank you, Your Honor. If it pleases the Common Council, what you have in your packets is the next step in transfer of property. So this is a project that St. Elizabeth and the county and CMHC and us and LMU have all been working on together, where the area around the Dearborn County Hospital and CMHC, they're just cleaning up old existing errors in property lines, parcel lines, places where fences should go, easements. So there's a company called Sieg Surveying who's been terrific. They've done a great job. If you remember, we transferred property to the county. They're transferring property back to us to effectuate this transfer. So we approved this tonight, and then the county will record the final paperwork to make official the work that they've done up there. But it's just kind of reshuffling everything up there. There were a lot of old abandoned train tracks and just things that were old and needed cleaned up, and now they're good and they've done a great job.
Okay. This is in form of a resolution, correct?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right. Questions, guys?
I have none other than what number would that be on the resolution?
Resolution number?
Number 9.
Number 9. Been busy.
Okay, if no additional questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2023-9, county property transfer.
I'll move, Your Honor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is, you see the donation committee recommendations. Looks like Cheering for Kids fundraising banquet through Young Life and Tiger Market through the Hope Squad. Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Mr. and Mrs. Lorton, we're going to move to you. Lauren Hill plaque presentation. I believe Lisa is here as well.
Thank you for having us out here this evening. Lauren's Fight for Cure was founded in 2013 after Lauren's diagnosis on November 20th, 2013. It was actually founded around our kitchen table when Brent and Lisa and Brandon and myself were like, we need to make sure the Hills have what they need in order to go through this battle. And after Lauren's passing, we decided to shift our focus to families, research, and local scholarships, as this encompassed what Lauren really thought was special. As part of LFSC, we are part of the DIP Collaborative through what's called Cure Starts Now, and it helps funds grants and research. We're given up-to-date information on new trials for DIPG as well as voting rights. We have connections with local social workers and also social workers throughout the United States at children's hospitals to give monetary support to families. And finally, we give scholarships to local athletes, females who have played any sport, or any type of, so cross-country, track, didn't necessarily have to be basketball, any type of sport at Lawrenceburg High School, and they're awarded a $2,200 scholarship. We actually had such a good pool of girls this year that we were able to give away 3 scholarships. Our purpose for coming this evening is to thank you guys for your support, the amount of time and resources you give to us for the Lawrenceburg Hill Race. It is amazing. Without your support, we would not be able to give the money to families and research from the race that we do. We're talking help of advertising, use of the facilities, putting cones up on the course, or those of you may know it as coning the course, but most importantly, firefighters, police officers, and city employees keeping our runners and volunteers safe. We are very grateful for your continued support of LFFC. Because of your support in the last 9 years and 9 months, we have been able to give $22,444 in scholarships locally, $171,288 in research grants, and $173,847 to family support. And when we talk family support, we're talking about coffee mugs. Families get $250 worth of gift cards for gas, food, that kind of stuff, if they are in the oncology unit at Children's. Monkey in My Chair, some of you may have heard of that before. It's when a child is going through cancer treatments, they put a big monkey in their chair so the other kids kind of feel that they're still part of the classroom. We've paid medical expenses, end-of-life gifts. So a lot of times people will reach out to Lisa and they want to buy their parents something special because they know they're getting ready to pass, so we will buy end-of-life gifts. We have covered funeral expenses, monthly living expenses such as rent, mortgage, cars, bills, memory-making experiences, and trips for young adults. Because what a lot of people don't understand is once you hit 18, you max out of Make-A-Wish. So we've been able to send families to Gatlinburg. We sent a young lady on a cruise. You got to swim with dolphins. What are some other trips we've done?
We just sent a gentleman who's in a battle to Buckeye Lake for a long weekend, and he also wanted to do a speedway experience up in that area, so we were able to support him with that. And of course, we do ongoing support with the families once we engage with them. I'm able to connect and just kind of mentor them through the rest of the process.
So we like to present the city with a frame print that encompasses Lauren's love of the game. And thank you for all your continued support.
Wow.
Awesome.
It's cool, so cool.
This print was made by Joe Nampton.
On behalf of the city, we thank you.
Yes.
Who would have ever thought the young high school lady would have such an impact?
Yep.
Right? And we all were a part of that during that time, and I know your family really persevered. And
Yeah.
a lot of people were praying for you guys and still do. And thank you on behalf of the city and
Yes.
city council. We're just glad we can be a small part.
Well, Lauren would not have been able to do what she did without our community support here. And not only what we have done, that Jeannie explained, with Lawrence Fight for Cure, but in total with the Cure Starts Now and other revenues, she's actually raised probably over $3 million total for fundraising for a cure for all, hopefully there's more cure for all cancers. So it's amazing, and I can't always comprehend the impact, but I know like our hometown has been so special to our family, and you know, just a big support. When somebody has cancer, everybody here rallies around and supports everybody as much as we can, and that says something about our community as a whole.
Something to be said about raising your family in a small town.
Amen.
For sure. So, thank you.
We need
Now we got to follow it up with a budget.
No.
I don't know if we want to do that.
Yeah, let's,
All right. At 6:30, we had advertised the adoption of our budget for 2024, so we need to take care of that before we get into the next presentation. And so what I'd like to do, sorry, what I'd like to do is first we'll take the 2024 budget ordinance for approval.
that'll be number 8.
That'll be number 8. And so what I'd like to do is approve 2024 budget ordinance, which is number 8-2023, adopted on full approval and adoption tonight, provided it's all unanimous. Any questions regarding that before we go forward? If not, entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. I'm assuming that salary ordinance will be number 9.
That'll be number 9.
All right. Next item is the 2024 salary ordinance. This will be ordinance number 9-2023. So I would entertain a motion to approve and adopt tonight, provided it is unanimous in the vote. So I'm looking for a motion to approve and adopt 2024 salary ordinance, which is 9-2023.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, roll call.
We got Councilperson Tony Abbott,
Aye.
Councilperson Justin Albert,
Aye.
Councilperson Tommy Roulette,
Nay.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman,
Aye.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Aye.
All right. We cannot approve that tonight since it was not unanimous.
One thing to keep in mind, we're going to have to do a work session because that has to be adopted before November 1st.
Yep.
And that's not before our next meeting, so we'll have to do a special work session
Okay.
for that. So
Okay.
we'll have to get that together.
We'll do that. Just making a note here, guys. Bear with me. Okay. All right. The next item on the agenda is, I believe we calling it St. E, a word presentation.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Thank you for having us here. I'm Chris Vogelpohl. I'm one of the EMS coordinators for St. Elizabeth. We're here tonight to present an award to some of your local first responders. There are a lot of things that have to go right in a very timely manner for somebody to survive an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. Tonight, we're here to honor the men and women who responded without hesitation on August 18th, 2023. They made all the right decisions in a timely manner that have allowed Mr. Randall to be here with us tonight. From the patient's wife to the dispatcher, to the sheriff's deputy, to fire and EMS, they all worked seamlessly together to provide care and give Mr. Randall a second chance at life. Tonight, we honor them with what we call our Excellence in STEMI Care Challenge coin. This is a pretty significant accomplishment and achievement for them. In fact, this is only the second group of people in the whole tri-state area to receive this award. We started it in January of this year. This will be the first dispatcher and first law enforcement officer ever to receive the award. So with that, I would like to hand over our little presentation to Dr. Corey, who is the interventional cardiologist who performed Mr. Randall's procedure that day.
Mr. Mayor and Council, being a cardiologist, we're always reminded that we're at the receiving end of any procedure or any intervention. We often get the glory and people recognize us. Although I'd like to keep it this way, but to be honest with ourselves, we are mere number in this equation. It's a complex equation: resuscitation, cardiac arrest in the field. To get to the cardiac catheterization lab at the hospital takes a long it's a long process that takes really meticulous decision making. And I think the EMS people over here did an excellent job in making sure Mr. Randall arrives to the cardiac catheterization lab alive, and we were able to resuscitate him. 50% of patients who arrest in the field do not make it even to the hospital. So knowing CPR, understanding the importance of CPR is extremely important. My point over here, I think, is that the council and the mayor and the city should understand the importance of teaching CPR to high school students, workplace, sports activities, centers. People should really understand the importance of CPR. If we can manage to implement the CPR knowledge and transfer it to our students, our co-workers, and I think we will cut the mortality by a significant number. So I think it's time, to recognize the EMS. And I think if you want to go ahead and names. Yeah, go ahead and announce it. Alicia has been the coordinator of EMS and in our cath lab, and she facilitates the patient's arrival and the process in the cath lab.
So thank you, everybody. Happy to be here. So I'd like to honor Felicia Sullivan. Nathan Batchelor. Thank you so much. Chief Rob Shitty. Brian Grubbs. Thank you. Brandon Given. Thank you. Richard Stutz.
Go, Skippy, go.
Thank you. Deputy Richie Lay. Thank you to everybody and to the family.
Thank you.
Jared, you.
Sorry, it's going to be similar, but Craig Kinney, I'm here from State of Indiana Homeland Security. We regulate EMS. We created a recognition that we give to EMS and also dispatchers, law enforcement, any bystanders, and it's our cardiac arrest save commendation, and we had a submission to recognize. And so we want to support the efforts, and I applaud the local hospital for bringing attention to the responders as well. With me today, I have Jason Smith, the district manager. Dr. Eric Yazel is our state EMS medical director, and I just echo what the hospital said. It really is a chain of events. You remove any part of that chain, and you are not going to have a successful resuscitation. And in this case, everything aligned that we had a positive outcome. So I have recognitions for from Dearborn County 911. I have Alex Hartman. Thank you. Rebecca Hoffrig. Richard Stutz. And from Dearborn County Sheriff's Department, Richard Lay. From Lawrenceburg Fire Department, Brandon Givens. And from Lawrenceburg Fire Department, Brian Grubbs. From Lawrenceburg Emergency Response, Felicia Sullivan. And from Lawrence Emergency Response, Nathan Batchelor. And from Lawrenceburg Fire Department, Robert Schuett. The only other thing I would add is in our recognition, no one submitted, and I was talking earlier with Mr. Randall and with his wife, and she was talking about doing CPR the best she could, and that indicates 911 response was doing a great job giving her those prompts, but also, you know, she said it herself. She goes, people need to know CPR and do it. And so I can't give her anything other than she's already has, which is saving her husband, but we applaud her efforts as well.
You guys don't have to stand for me.
We are.
I'm Jared Teeney, the 911 director of the county here, and just like to read a little bit here for you guys. On August 18th, 2023, it's 06:17 hours, Dearborn County Communications 911 dispatcher Richard Stutz received a 911 call from Terry Randall reporting that her 55-year-old husband was unconscious in her vehicle on Preble Road in the area of Cary Drive, and he was not breathing. Dispatcher Stutz stayed on the phone with Terry, providing her CPR instructions, while dispatchers Alex Hartman and Rebecca Hoffrogge immediately dispatched Lawrenceburg EMS, Lawrenceburg Fire, and Dearborn County Sheriff units to Randall's call for help. Deputy Richie Lay arrived on the scene a few minutes later after being dispatched and applied an AED to the patient. A few minutes later, Lawrenceburg EMS and Lawrenceburg Fire units arrived on scene and took over patient care. The patient was later transported to St. E. Edgewood for further treatment. Like the doctor said, and like the guy from Homeland Security also said, it's a great example of the American Heart Association's chain of survival. Terry, recognizing her husband needed help and calling 911, being a great caller and following the directions of the dispatcher, providing the CPR, our sheriff's deputy getting on the scene, using his defibrillator that was issued to him by the department. And I don't know if you realize that or not, but they got those on a grant that the Community Foundation from the city provided. And Fire EMS arriving, taking over care, providing ALS, and then patient being transferred to St. E to the cath lab. It's just a great example of what a team can do when everything works out. So I do have some certificates for the members of our team. Richard Stutz. Alex Hartman. Rebecca Hoffrogge. Soon to be Bowman on Saturday.
Yeah.
One other thing I'd like to thank St. Elizabeth for something they do provide for our county is Pulse Point. If you're not familiar with Pulse Point, it's an app you can download on your phone, and it will alert you if someone's in a public place needing CPR. So I am a CPR instructor. If anyone would like to learn CPR, please give us a call.
Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, guys, for your time.
Anyone else? Yeah, Terry, go ahead.
I'm the lady that did CPR. It wasn't that good, but I guess it was good enough. So we can't, as a family, thank everyone involved. I mean, it's an army. It was amazing. It was the worst day of my life and the best day of my life. And it's because of the investment that we make in the proper equipment. He woke me up at 5 in the morning with chest pains, and I said, do we call 911? We live in a rural part of the county, or do we head to the hospital? And we decided to head to the hospital. He was coherent, he was talking to me, but he went out on the way up Preble Hill where I couldn't even pull over. If it weren't for Skip and talking me off the ledge on 911 call, telling me what to do, and Richie, little guy, pulls my husband out, puts him to the ground. It was an amazing thing to see. And I can't tell you how all our children are here, grandchildren. We are beyond grateful, and we are feeling very blessed, very fortunate. So don't for a minute think that you shouldn't know CPR everyone should. And what you have done to provide state-of-the-art equipment, and I can't say enough about St. Elizabeth. We had no idea the level of care that we would receive at St. Elizabeth when we got to cardiac ICU. Alicia, Dr. Corey, they were keeping us informed. At one point, Alicia came out and said, we're getting a stent in. She comes right back out and says, it's not looking good. He's arrested. Again, we can't get the stent in. Was having multiple seizures. And they had to decide, were they going to revive him again? And they decided to give my husband another chance, and he made it. So this is truly a miracle story, and these folks are so deserving of this recognition, and they don't get it often enough. So I just want to say thank you. We love you all.
Of course.
Oh, absolutely, we can do that. I'd like to just say that thank you, everyone, for coming and sharing that story. It's not a story, it's real life, right? And, I say it every year. We have a first responders recognition dinner every May. Police, fire, EMS. I remind everybody in the community, including my own family, how fortunate we are for a city our size to be able to have full-time fire, full-time EMS, full-time police. But you take it even further. The county and the training that they do for their folks, Sheriff McHenry's folks, Jared's folks. Obviously, we're fortunate to have a hospital in the county, right? That's something that's not found a lot anymore. So we're a very fortunate group. I always tell our first responders, I couldn't do your job. I never was cut from that cloth, and I'm just so thankful we have men and women that are willing to do that. In this day and age, not a lot of people in those uniforms are willing to stick their neck out, and because we see it all the time, right, on TV, people filming everybody while they should be helping, and wanting to catch somebody doing something wrong, and looking for this and looking for that. And I am so thankful for all of you in this room tonight that are first responders. Terry, your husband, thank you for making this happen, sharing this with all of us. And I'll speak for the city of Lawrenceburg, are thankful for each and every one of you, and we appreciate your willingness to serve. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Did you guys want to go?
Yeah, we can get a picture now if you want. We're in a good spot.
You guys can all line up. All right.
I can feel it. I haven't looked in a while.
You look great.
One say cheese.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Al. Richie. Thank you. I see your name a lot. Thank you.
Brian, I want you up there. The boss has spoken.
Right? Here we go.
Okay. I have no other new business. I don't know if I can follow any of that. No other old business for tonight, guys. That gets us to comments from the audience. Anyone from the audience? Yes, ma'am.
That's a hard act to follow, but I just wanted to thank the city council and whatever committee it was that elected me as the 2003 Citizen of the Year. That was quite an honor. And also I wanted to thank the mayor, council, and Main Street for the haunted wine walk this weekend. That was very fun.
Very crowded.
Yes, very crowded.
Not much wine drink.
Yeah, probably none at all.
Yeah. Anyone else? If no other comments, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Have a safe trip home.